What are you going to do with it, Holmes?
Alright, now that I got all that rearranged and figured out what's going on, guys, it is I, Sly Cooper 88, also known as Steve, and welcome back to Sherlock Holmes and the Devil's Daughter. Now, when we last left, unfortunately, I could not figure out a puzzle for the life of me, or maybe I did, and I just don't remember, but I tried to do a per case in each episode, but this may be one of the first where it'll probably take me an episode, maybe two. Hopefully it won't be super annoying or agitating, but I figured I'd try to put another episode of this out and get this series done or wrapped up. So it's been a little while, so let's go. We have to investigate the murder of Zachary Greystoke, break into Marley's office at night. Oh, that's right. At the end of the episode, we got a letter from Miss Alice, and we were going to perform an analysis.
My analysis table. It's used.
So let's...
I can't help myself. I must open this letter.
I can't help myself. I must open this letter.
It would be easier to open this letter if I steam it. Let's prepare. Boil water in kettle. I need to turn on the gas. I need to open it with... Miss Alice planned to live here because of me. I need to have a talk with her as soon as possible. Let's reseal it, as if it was never open. I need some... That's it.
Don't stop playing, Kate. I'm going to take some air on the balcony for a few minutes.
I need to speak with Miss Alice. My analysis table. It's useful for my work. How about telling me why you came here in the first place?
Mr. Holmes, why do you ask? I hardly think that I'm accountable to you.
Since you extended an invitation to my daughter against my wishes, I believe that you are.
So said the father, cloaked in all his severity. My word, you almost frightened me.
You won't say that. Very well. Ask Caitlin to come home now.
Oh, poor child, let her play. Such insouciance. So useful for covering up disturbing secrets. And since you intend to hide the truth from her...
What?
We all have our secrets.
You...
But don't worry, Mr. Holmes. Caitlin is a sensitive child, and I like her enormously.
Alice, come back in. I can do it. See? You're wonderful.
I like to think that the feeling is mutual. We wouldn't want her to know of your secrets, or for her to be unhappy. I have to go inside now.
So she knows that Holmes is not her real father. She's a very clever woman, I'll give her that. The plot kind of thickens here on that
Holmes,
front.
I entirely forgot. There's a man corresponding to the photograph who is a regular visitor at the Hospital for Tropical Diseases. His name is James Byron.
Are you sure?
That's fantastic.
And we can visit him. But you should disguise yourself first. I'll introduce you as my colleague.
Okay, so we gotta dress ourselves up as a doctor now. Cool. So let's go to the makeup table. Ah, perfect.
Holmes, we have to go to the hospital.
Let's visit the hospital for tropical diseases and get to the bottom of this. So let's look at our deduction board. Okay, our deduction board is pretty much at a standstill. The plot is thickening. It is thickening.
Oh, Dr. Watson, may I help you?
Hello, Baird. My colleague and I are here to see Mr. Byron.
Ah, Byron. Yes, he's in a bad way.
Patients visit this department for treatment and then return home. Patients...
Don't mind me, I gotta hurry. I gotta make sure the patients are okay.
That isn't our man.
Nurse? Nurse. Where is the nurse? Don't mind me, I'm a doctor in a rush. I gotta rush through here. Is this our man? Okay, this is our man.
Mr. Byron?
More doctors? Please. I've just received my treatment. I need to rest a while before I leave.
Imprecise character. Come on, scroll back up. Ah, it doesn't let me change my options. Okay. Well, I screwed up this guy's character portrait. Oh well.
We would like to ask you some questions about an
Moving right
expedition that
along
took
with the
place 14
story.
years ago.
An expedition? What expedition? You're wrong. I've never left London.
Is it not?
Then
you
what
in
do you call
photograph
this?
From Guatemala?
Guatemala? Tecuna man. Dr. Baird! Come here quickly, I don't feel well.
What on earth is going on? Please, calm down. I'm sorry, my dear colleagues, but Dr. Brunt is waiting to give Mr. Byron a private consultation. You can wait here.
That was probably
What should we do next?
the
Holmes?
worst freak
We're
out
paying attention.
I have ever
We have to
seen.
wait, but we'll take advantage of the situation.
Like, that's Trolls 2 bad acting bad. So, okay, I guess, obviously, we are on to who he is. So let's, while he's away,
man passed by a
let's
circus.
try and check all of his belongings. See if he really is the man that he claims to be.
He recently purchased Chinese tobacco. This address is almost invisible.
Aha.
Oh, you're still here?
Obviously. We're waiting for Mr. Byron. Is he not with you?
No, the gentleman left directly after his consultation. Oh, he forgot to collect his belongings.
Holmes, it seems that albeit has escaped.
Obviously. And he knows that we are aware of his true identity. Quickly. I know how to find him.
Very well. Okay, so we're filling in the gaps here. We're getting things done. The world's longest loading screen. Okay. Still don't got all the pieces together. There we go.
My analysis table. It's useful for my...
Did you find Albiet's house on the map?
Thanks
Aha.
to the information I obtained at the hospital, I can now deduce where Albiet is hiding. We know that Albiet paid a visit to an opium den, a crowded market, and a circus. He also purchased some Chinese tobacco. Let's find a place in London where all four elements are close together.
Aha.
Now we need to find a street name ending in OOK. Here it is. 21D Brook Street. Watson, I believe we found Albiet's flat.
I say let's change out the doctor outfit. We don't need it. go with the overcoat. We're solving clues and mysteries. I don't need Scooby-Doo to figure out this mystery. Nice little flat.
Help!
Do you hear that? Quick, we have to open this door.
The door's too strong and the lock is too solid to break with bare hands.
Do you hear that? Quick, we have to open the...
Aha!
Please help! No, please help!
Hey!
Help!
Ah! We're gonna break down this door. Here's Sherlock. Aha! There we go. We got the axe.
This table could serve as cover.
Whoa!
This table could serve as cover.
If I cut those ropes, the curtains will fall and block the attacker's view. Watson, I'll try to reach those curtains to close them. Cover me. Watson, I'll try to reach those curtains to close them. Cover me.
Yeah, teamwork.
Cover me.
Ah, good.
Holmes, be careful.
I love that. Above you. And it's just in slow motion, the entire, like, chain of armor falls.
Locked.
Ooh! We're, getting a little action-packed here, don't you think?
Watson, come here. He's behind the screen.
A statue was once here. Now it's missing. The iron mounting rod is broken. The surface is damaged.
Okay.
Our assailant escaped using this rope. Our assailant escaped using this rope.
No! Don't kill me!
Calm down. It's over now. It's gone.
You? Oh. But why are you here? You're not doctors, are you?
No. Well, you're half right. Shall we remove these masks? Your true name is Albeit, is it not? You were a member at Charles Yellingham's club.
Yes, I was.
Can you tell us what happened here?
After your visit at the hospital, I quickly returned home. I was lying there on the sofa and felt an evil presence in the room.
An evil presence?
Never mind. It's probably the fever.
Or perhaps a living statue?
Yes. It was one of the double statues. I saw its shadow. I believed that it was searching for me, that it wanted to kill me. It was horrible.
As in Zacharias' murder, the statue came to life when its intended victim appeared in front of it. I must examine your residence. It may hold some clues. Tell us about your expedition to Guatemala 14 years ago.
It was in my former life.
What really happened there? You were said to have died.
I was ill with a terrible fever. I asked them to leave me there. I can't remember how. I only have flashes of memory. But by some miracle, I survived. I left an eye and one arm behind. It took me time. But at last, I managed to return to London.
Why do you use a false name?
That expedition signaled the end of my career. And my very life as I'd known it. I changed my name and my address. Now I'm weak and useless and alone. I'm a walking dead man.
Not for long.
Perhaps this was it. It was my curse to fade away little by little. Tekunu man's revenge.
You are aware of Zacharias' murder, are you not?
Yes, and quite aptly I read that he was killed with a spear.
Aptly.
Well, he practiced archaeology almost as though it were a sport, seeking adrenaline. Imagine his state of adrenaline when he died, him being the prey.
And who would have been the hunter?
Tekunu man? Whoever, whatever. It'll soon be over for me at any rate.
There's a locked door on the first floor. May I have the key for it?
All right, but there's nothing interesting inside.
Hmm.
Thank you again for saving me.
Starting to see a pattern here with all these statues.
The interior seems well designed, but I cannot see it properly. This model forms a part of another, larger model.
Hmm.
(1894). This model was created after the expedition to Guatemala.
Excellent.
This bed is very small. Albiet's wife and son, I presume.
Okay, so we're...
Mr. Albiet, what is this?
How? It's impossible. How did you find it?
Answer me.
17 years ago, I built a model of Tekkening Man's temple. We stored it inside the club's globe before leaving for the expedition. I've no idea if it's still there. While in Guatemala, I had dreams about a missing part. A pyramid. Then, when we entered the temple, I experienced vivid visions.
Wait a minute. You entered the temple?
Well, yes, we did. And we found the pyramid from my visions. But I was too weak. I was unable to solve the mystery of its entrance. I failed there. I always wanted to understand why. So upon my return...
You rebuilt this final part according to your visions and...
Nothing. But I'm dying, and at least my son will see that I did my best to complete my life's work.
There's a little bed in the small room. It's been used.
Well, it is for my son, Gulliver. After my official death, my wife and he left for Glasgow. On my return, I installed this room.
So they know about you?
My boy Gulliver visits occasionally. But I wonder, what is a life with a crippled father? They will lose me again.
Hmm. Hmm. So let's find out the truth about the temple. But first, let's go to the foundry and figure out that mystery. We're figuring out the mystery here. So let's go through the foundry. I feel the foundry,
and you'll need to be quiet.
I feel the foundry will have a lot of answers to what we're looking for. Because the more in segmented pieces we kind of figure this out, No, I don't want to.
There's no space for this lockpick. There's no space for this lockpick.
See, it's so hard to like tell what's what. Oh, there we go. There we go. See, we're getting it. There we go. Now we got the door unlocked. Okay, let's do some exploration.
This door is securely locked. I must find another way in.
Alrighty. Using my big boy brain for this.
Others might see nothing here but fence, but there is more to it than that. Others might see nothing here but fence, but there is... I can't move this. Something is blocking its path.
Ah, see? We're starting to put it together. This is going to be a two-person puzzle. It's going to require Watson to help out too. Okay. And we're up.
Watson, I need your help. I need a clear path.
Okay, so as Watson, we're gonna... Oop, not that way. There we go, this way. Okay, so that part moves to that, so I just need to figure out how to move this giant cage up here.
I can't move this. Something is blocking it.
Ah, okay. Hang on. It's starting to come together, guys. Okay, I think I know what to do here. Hang on. I'm gonna test something out here. And I have a feeling I'm gonna be right. What we're gonna do, we're gonna...
I can't move it in that direction. I can't move it in that direction.
What do you mean you can't move it in that direction?
Watson, I need your help. I need a clear path. I need a clear path.
Well, obviously you do, Sherlock.
Watson, I need your help.
Kills me. I guess I'm not... I mean, it's a pretty straightforward puzzle right here. So why am I not getting across? Oh, wait a minute. Ah, there's two of them. Ah, that's what I was missing. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. No? Not good enough?
I can't move it in that direction.
Okay. So we're finally going to be able to get across here. Get across here and figure out what is hiding in that office and why. Yeah, I made it.
Holmes, I'm here. Can you let me in?
A Mayan pyramid.
I love that. We need to be quiet. Be super stealth as we're going through his office. Holmes, I'm here. Can you let me in? Let me in. Let me in.
A slot. It appears to be part of some mechanism.
It's not stealthy, Watson. You're pretty much shouting. I'm surprised the neighbors haven't found out yet.
Obviously for a dagger. Mayan period, I think.
I'll need a dagger to work the mechanism.
Okay, so we'll have to forge a dagger to figure out.
There's a recurring theme that connects all of these sculptures.
Okay, so let's go down here, let Watson in. Watson. Watson. Where are you? Oh, there you are. Okay. Back to the lab.
Here first.
Oh, I have to actually build it here. Oh, okay. So I have to actually find some steel ingots, melt them down, and forge a dagger.
We need to hurry and find out what Mr. Marley is hiding.
Oh, you don't say. Oh, sweet, we get to do a Guitar Hero sequence. Okay, don't fail me. Guitar Hero was never my game.
I hope this dagger fits.
Okay. Good.
Another statue of Takunu Man.
We're discovering things.
So, Bernard Marley built a mechanical globe. This globe has space inside. It should be possible to open it.
Layers upon layers.
It can move, but a part of the mechanism is missing. Be careful, Watson, unless you want to be speared by Takunu Man.
This puzzle is actually a pretty obnoxious one because you have to line up all the gears perfectly. And I'm sure you guys can find this online, but I'm just going to go ahead and skip this puzzle. I know some of you are going to be disappointed by that, but it would take me hours or much. It'd probably take me about close to 2 or 3 hours. And not only that, but I don't want this to like dumb down the gameplay to where it's like just me spending like a lot of minutes trying to figure out puzzles like this that I can easily just, you know, kind of skip. Because I don't want the entire thing to be me just struggling to figure out puzzles. So if you guys want to do this on your own, if you ever played this game, by all means, look up a walkthrough, do all that stuff, but I'm just going to save us all the headache of trying to attempt to solve this and just skip it. Yeah, I'd rather just skip it. I'm just going to save us all the headache there of getting all that done. So skip that puzzle just to unlock this. 'Cause yeah, that gear puzzle that gear puzzle's a pain. So, but that's the end result. It gets the statue to move, and we figure out that, okay,
Marley dismantled these alarm
Marley
clocks with
might
parts.
have actually built killer statues.
It's shut tight. Locked.
Ah.
A piece of a map in metal. This object evidently connects to something else. This part is in solid gold. It's worth a fortune. The statue is in 3 parts. Only the gold is original. Marley must have reconstructed the other 2. It's almost daylight. The workers will be here soon. It's time to leave.
That's an interesting theory, but let's hold off on that for now because it makes Marley look like the suspect, but I'm gonna reserve judgment because I want to see with my own eyes how things turn out. So okay, we figured out kind of more of the puzzle here. Once again, to those who are puzzle enthusiasts and wanted to see me do the gear one, you know, I'm sorry, but some of the puzzles in this playthrough are just, they take a lot of time and they're very time consuming, and I'd have to have a walkthrough with me, and some of them, I'm sorry, they're kind of not worth wasting time in the video or playthrough to try to get through. So some of them I may end up skipping.
A crime at his club, it's a terrible thing.
So try not to take offense, guys, if I skip some puzzles just for the sake of moving the story along.
A murder at my club. What a disaster for our reputation. I heard that Zacharias was killed by the statue's spear.
So... Okay, so we're going to go on a vision trip here through the temple, at least through Sherlock's imagination. I walked on the same pedestal. Okay, so what we want to do... Oh. Ah. I was close that time. Okay, we're starting to see a pattern here with... Oh, now it gives me the option to skip. I'm not gonna skip. Just because I have a very strong feeling that one of these is gonna lead me to where I need to go. This one I'll allow not skipping because it's not relatively hard. It's just I gotta figure out the right pattern here. Aha. Ah, blocked entrance. Okay, so that path we don't need to go on because that leads to a dead end. Can't step this way. Nope. This is delightfully interesting. I'm sure some of y'all are like, oh, for God's sake, Steve, figure it out. Let me figure this out, guys. I got it. Okay, nope, that equals bad. I must have triggered the other block. Okay, no running. Except for in short bursts. Aha! Okay, where does this lead? Another dead end. Oh, come on, I barely touched that square. Okay, so the legs are bad. Well, okay, I don't need to walk all the way through this. You guys pretty much get a basic idea of where the trail's at. You guys get the basic idea of where that trail's off to. Let's get in here and let's figure out what Marley was up to. Oh good, another puzzle, and this one in even bigger pain than the other ones. I don't think I like this. Oh, okay, see, I gotta line that up all correctly. Yeah, that'd take me a while. Forget that one, too. Like, this is my least favorite out of all the levels, just because some of the puzzles get really ridiculous and are time-consuming. I'm sure for those playing this, you're like, well, that doesn't help us at all, Steve. Yeah, but I don't want to waste like an hour or more just doing puzzle after puzzle after puzzle and not being able to get it. And like I said, just for the sake of time, I don't want this to be like a 2-3 hour playthrough of me just trying to figure out the puzzle and just not getting it. I mean, don't get me wrong, I could have done that sundial puzzle, but nah. Like I said, for the sake of story and everything, I kind of want to keep the plot moving. Kind of want to keep it going so you guys can, you know, get invested with the rest of the story. Like, stuff like picking the lock and whatnot, I have no problem doing. But, like, stuff like that sundial puzzle, or even the, you know, the gear puzzle for the Takunaman statues, I'm just not sure I would... Okay, there we go. Made it past that. Because, see, stuff like the Takunaman statue, like the gear puzzle, that would have taken me forever. The sundial one would have taken forever. And another reason I'm skipping a lot of that stuff too, guys, is because I don't have the walkthrough in front of me, and I don't feel like I should have to look it up, and just for the sake of, you know, oh look, you know, this is... Nah, I'm sorry guys, I'm kind of being lazy, I know, for this episode, but this is probably one of the more like puzzle heavy episodes. And I feel like that's going to kind of turn a lot of people off, as opposed to like advancing the story and everybody trying to put the mystery together. So I don't really want to do that to people. You know what I mean? Like I don't want people to feel like when I play through this. Oh good, I have a time limit. I'm not gonna skip this one because you know what? I know what I can. Ow. Yay! See, I didn't skip that one. I don't skip all of them, I just skip the really tedious, pretty much easy to figure out. Like, okay, I could have done the pathway one, but I was like, you know, you guys pretty much already kind of figured out, like, where the path was going to go anyway. So there was kind of no point in me repeating it over and over again. Plus, on top of that, the gear puzzle was going to take too long. Figuring out the sundial would have taken forever. The only reason I skipped that pathway thing was because you guys pretty much already figured out what the pattern probably was, or at least had a good idea. So not all puzzles I skip. I'll work with them for a little bit, but then there's some that's like really tedious that I just kind of... Like, not all of them are tedious, but there are some that I do kind of skip just for the sake of time. Okay, so we gotta avoid the statues with the red eyes because they spit poison gas. Let's give it another try. See, the problem is you can't always pan the camera around because you're worried about the ceiling falling. Actually, we can tell where to go from the ceiling, actually. Let's look at this for a second. Or not. Well, I'm going to go ahead and skip this one because it's going to... I can't see any clear-cut path forward, plus, like I said, just for the sake of story, I kind of want to progress this episode forward. And also, I don't think it's fair for you guys to watch me just fail over and over again. Okay, so we got past that one. And I'm sure a lot of you are going to be like, well, what's the point in playing it then if you're just going to skip half the puzzles? Not trying to skip the puzzles on purpose, I don't want to be strapped for time doing the same puzzle over and over again, and then you guys start getting frustrated with that, like, you know, like, come on man, just look up a walkthrough. Like, it's I don't know, I look at it as unfair, kind of, to me and to you guys as well, to kind of just... It's not that I'm trying to give up easily, but it's just... It's being courteous to the fact of moving the story forward for those that want to, you know, see the story progress. I mean, if I'm able to do puzzles, good. If not, I'm fine with it. I love that right away they give me a skip for this. I don't know why they gave me a skip. That one wasn't too hard to navigate through.
The treasure of Takunuma. This is the statuette that Bernard Marley, Sir Charles and Zacharias all shared. No keyhole or handle. There must be a way. The calendar. It was here. So Zacharias, Sir Charles, and Marley have all known about this from the beginning.
Ugh. Ow. Aha. One. Nope. Knew I was gonna screw that one up. Okay. Yep, that did not work. Okay. So, push this one in.
This is the statuette that Bernard Marley, Sir Charles and Zacharias all shared.
What was that? Ah! Sounded like a Homer Simpson scream. let's give it another go. If I don't get this one, I'll just skip it. Ah, so it all makes sense now. It all makes sense now. They took the statue and left him for dead. On one hand, he's going to die soon, and he wanted to plot revenge, and it's understandable that he wanted to have revenge. But on the other hand, he wanted to kill for revenge with an accomplice of small stature. Well, he's going to die soon anyway. And I can absolve him for the fact that he was left for dead and had to get away from his family and whatnot. And hopefully he'll find peace with, make do with his family before he passes away.
Mr. Albeit, Oh, you're here with your son.
Yes, obviously.
We have to talk with you, and it involves the police.
I see. Gulliver, go across the road to Mrs. James. This is an adult conversation.
Hold on just 1 second, please.
A pygmy?
As I suspected, albeit brought him back from Brazil. You were both slaves there and you escaped together, am I correct?
You are. We are companions through life to death. He's more like a brother to me.
So he's the murderer?
But he was merely obeying his master.
Yes, I'm the one who planned the murder. I'm the one responsible.
You wanted them to pay for what they did to you.
True. Now I don't care what happens to me. I'll be dead soon. But Gulliver, you have to let him go.
I wasn't planning to arrest you, only that we might know the truth. Although I regret that Gulliver must leave England and return to his own country.
Shame. But thank you, Mr. Holmes.
Okay, so Pray Tell is done, and now a Study in Green, which is the most puzzle heavy as far as all the episodes, as far as the 3 episodes determined. The next one is it's Infamy. So let's get started with that. We'll go through the motions with that, and then, guys, we will stop the episode. Not too keen on having to skip a lot of the puzzles in Study in Green, but it's the most puzzle heavy, in my opinion, of all the cases in this. Although don't be surprised if I skip a couple more in the couple of episodes after this. Like I said, only the really super time-consuming and tough ones I'll probably skip just for the sake of story. Because that's kind of what I did with Crimes and Punishment.
Father, Mr. Orson Wilde is here, and I'm going to stay with Miss Alice.
What?
Did you forget? Orson Wilde, you know, the star of American theatre. And he's visiting and staying with us. You did forget?
No, not that. I meant you wanting to stay with Miss Alice.
Yes, that's right. Miss Alice suggested it. She told me you couldn't possibly refuse.
We're going to reluctantly accept for now, just because it'll keep Miss Alice at arm's length, but it'll keep Caitlin also from having to get angry with us.
If it's really what you want.
It's the perfect solution, Mr. Holmes. Don't you agree?
Guess what, Mrs. Hudson? Mr. Wilde is here to study my father's character for his next play. And he won't be disappointed, will he? Father is so pig-headed.
I can't believe it. The great Sherlock Holmes standing in front of me. I'm sure that our 2 brains will.
Brains.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Colonial Willy Wonka. Seriously, it looks like Johnny Depp's Willy Wonka, and it's actually quite freakish. Now let's try to not have an impartial or imprecise character portrait, because we did that for Albeit.
Mr. Wilde, your room.
Charming. This is such a fascinating city.
We need to talk.
I'd rather not. You're going to be angry again. Goodbye, Mr. Wilde.
Is it 5 o'clock already? I think I might go and ask Mrs. Hudson for some tea.
Wilde's already making himself at home. Wilde truly has a perfect disguise kit. Do actors really need all this? I use the same brushes for makeup. Face powder of an excellent quality. This must be grease paint.
I forgot my hat. Father?
I am just checking,
You've got something on your face. Is it makeup?
It might be. Practicing my disguises, you know me. No, don't touch that! No!
Ah, Mrs. Hudson, with our tea.
Not quite. We have a visitor. However, the lady is not so much angry as perplexed.
Good day to you, gentlemen. My name is Mary Sutherland. I have come to you, Mr. Holmes, because I would give everything I have to know what has become of Mr. Hosmer Angel.
Why the haste, Miss Sutherland?
Mr. Hosmer Angel has disappeared, and my father, Mr. Winterbank, will do nothing. It makes me so angry.
Oh, God, my shoulder.
Mr. Windybank is your stepfather, surely, since the name is different?
Well, indeed, I call him father, although he is barely older than myself.
And your mother is alive?
Oh, yes, although I wasn't best pleased when she married again, and so soon after father's death, and to a man so much younger than herself.
Do you have your own income?
I do, from an inheritance. It was left to me by my Uncle Ned in Auckland.
Then you have all that you could wish for, naturally.
Well, I live at home and don't wish to be a burden to my family, so they have the use of the money.
What is your connection with Mr. Hosmer Angel?
I met him at the gasfitter's ball. Mr. Winterbank did not wish for me and Mother to attend. He never did wish us to go anywhere, but this time I was quite set on it. Fortunately, he left for France upon some business, and so didn't have any say in it. And I met Mr. Angel that night. We met again after that and would take walks together. But then Father returned, and we could no longer meet.
Why was your stepfather against your going anywhere?
Well, he didn't like anything of that sort. He used to say that a woman should be happy in her own family circle.
Did Mr. Hosmer Angel make no attempt to see you?
Well, Father was going off again in a week, and Hosmer wrote and said that it would be better for us not to see each other until Father had gone. After that, he stopped writing.
Were you engaged?
Oh, yes, Mr. Holmes. Right after the first walk that we took.
Where does Mr. Angel live?
I don't know exactly. I address all of his letters to the Leadenhall Street post office for collection.
Is there anything else that you can tell me about Mr. Angel?
He is a very shy man. He would rather walk with me in the evening, so as to be discreet. I put a missing persons notice in last Saturday's Chronicle. Here's a copy, and a letter from him.
Ha! A love letter. Yes, I see. As I anticipated, this validates my deductions perfectly.
What deductions, Mr.
Mr. Wilde. Holmes, tell her. A love letter? Aren't you dying to read it, Holmes? A love letter? Aren't you...
Mr. Holmes, what do you think about the letter on the table?
This is strange. The love letter is typewritten. Fairly common ink, nothing special. Good quality paper, quite smooth. I'm waiting for the moment when your stepfather leaves once more. Hosmer Angel decided not to leave his signature. We had a wonderful time together, didn't we, while your father was in France? Miss Sutherland only met with Hosmer Angel while the stepfather was absent. Let's study this letter more closely. There are some letters with typographical defects.
Miss Sutherland, do you have any other letters from Mr. Angel?
Unfortunately not. But I've brought my father's letter from Paris. Here it is.
The stepfather's letter is also typewritten. I hope that you'll be an obedient girl. Take my advice. Stay at home. Miss Sutherland's stepfather's signature. The stepfather is trying to keep the daughter at home. Fairly common ink, nothing special. Quite common paper with a light yellow tint. Let's study this letter more closely. There are some letters with typographical defects. Both letters have typographical defects. They merit further attention. This letter has a defect. It's the same letter with the same defect in both instances.
Hang on, guys. I'm getting there.
One more letter with a defect. One more letter with a defect. Another letter match with the same defects. Another letter match with the same defects. So, based on the specific defects, we could say that these letters were composed on the same typewriter. You should try to let Mr. Hosmer Angel vanish from your memory, as he has done from your life.
Then you don't think I'll see him again?
I fear not.
Then what has happened to him?
Your stepfather married your mother for her money, and also enjoyed the use of your income. But with your personal advantages, it was clear that you would not remain single for long, even with him keeping you at home. He found a crook by the name of Mr. Hosmer Angel. He was paid to make you fall in love and promise your devotion, whereupon he would disappear.
Oh, Mr. Holmes. No, I can't believe it. But we were engaged. Oh, it's horrible to think about. But thank you for all you have done, Mr. Holmes.
Holmes, you could have been more diplomatic.
Well, what was I supposed to do? Lie to her? Tell her that the guy still wanted to see her? It's pretty obvious writing on the wall that her stepfather wanted to keep her at home and hired the crook to keep her, like, at bay.
What is going on?
Holmes, is everything all right?
Oh my God. Go back to your flat and stay there with Kate.
Well, that's a bit of dramatic tension, but we're going to have to stop the episode right here, guys. I went a little further than I wanted to, just so that way I could squeeze a little more content out for you guys. But we'll have to figure out what that is, but I'm pretty sure it's something that's not going to be beneficial to Sherlock in this case. So with that, guys, I'm going to stop the episode right here on a cliffhanger. I hope that you guys enjoyed this episode of Sherlock Holmes and the Devil's Daughter. Like I said, I'm just going to skip a lot of the harder puzzles and whatnot, or the more time-consuming, just so that way we can advance the story a little bit more. And I'm not wasting time trying to fail over and over and over again, because I don't want you guys to either A, get bored, or B, kind of start getting irritated with the fact that I'm not getting the puzzles done, because I want this to be a fun series, but I also don't want it to be boring and bogged down with like super ridiculous puzzles that are going to take me like an hour, maybe more, to try to figure out. So I hope you guys understand why a lot of these puzzles, especially in this episode, I ended up skipping. Like I said, it's for you guys' benefit, not my own. But if a lot of you guys are looking on how to solve the puzzles, there's plenty of walkthroughs and guides and other things that I found when I first started playing this that will be able to help you out, or at least give you kind of a kick in the right direction. But anyway, guys, I'm going to stop the video right here. I hope that you enjoyed this episode, and I will see you guys in the next one.